All right, it is Thursday, and welcome to the Grotto. I'm here with Anna Navarro behind the table. You're wearing a robe.
I know I look like Mrs. Roper, but I'm cold.
It's not Mrs. Roper. I wouldn't say Mrs. Roper. Not that there's anything wrong with Mrs. Roper, but
I'm cold. I'm
Okay.
I'm getting over a cold, and
I
today's
just feel like
been
we're on a
freezing.
cruise ship or something, or like you're coming out of the sauna.
Oh God, I wish I was on a cruise ship for
All right.
3.5 years.
All
I wish
right,
I was on a
listen,
cruise ship.
it's not going to hurt the views. All right, so let's go. Let's talk about the government shutdown on Tuesday because it's official. You haven't been here since it was. GOP leaders are blaming Democrats for the shutdown over wanting to provide health care for undocumented immigrants. Please break this down for me.
Okay. Well, first of all, I kind of hear, I've been watching the news, and you see one side blaming the other and the other blaming the other, and I kind of feel like if you are being affected by this, or if you're a regular American and you're listening to this, it's like wah, 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 wah. Okay, but let's just get some facts on the table. So we've seen these memes that an AI doctored video that Trump has posted, the White House has posted, of Hakeem Jeffries in a sombrero, and Chuck Schumer doctored video, AI video, generated video, saying that they're fighting for undocumented immigrants. The reason that he puts Hakeem Jeffries in a mustache and a sombrero, which is ridiculously racist stereotype of Mexicans, is because they are lying to the American people. Let me say that again. Donald Trump and his administration and his minions are lying to the American people when they say that this shutdown is about undocumented immigrants and giving them the Cadillac health care plan. So let's just put the facts out. Undocumented immigrants are not eligible for ACA subsidies. Undocumented immigrants are not eligible for Medicaid or Medicare. Undocumented immigrants are eligible to receive emergency health care. And it was through a law, I pulled it up, signed by none other than Ronald Reagan in 1986. It's the EMTALA, Emergency Medical Treatment and Labor Act, okay?
Which I would think anybody would think is a necessary thing to give emergency. Would you have, if someone gets hit by a car, what are you going to let them die?
No, first of all, okay, if somebody gets
Basic
hit by
humanity.
a car and
Yeah.
comes in unconscious, or somebody's crossing a street, and gets shot, which happens a lot in America these days, that you get randomly shot, and you come in unconscious, should I wait until you're back being conscious and prove your citizenship in order to give you medical care? If anybody comes off the street into an emergency room, right, and brought by ambulance, brought by a trauma unit, brought by a helicopter because they are dying, nurses and doctors are not going to ask that dying patient in the midst of trauma what their citizenship is or proof of insurance. They're going to try to save their lives. It's called humanity.
Right.
And it's called a basic human right. And it was signed by Ronald Reagan, not Joe Biden, as Donald Trump has lied about. So no, this is not about giving undocumented immigrants health care. It is about the ACA subsidies. During COVID, the ACA subsidies were changed to include more people. So millions more Americans have received subsidies. And I can tell you, I don't know if this I got an email like a month ago from my insurance company. I am on the ACA exchange. I don't receive any subsidies, but I got an email from my insurance company saying there have been government changes which may increase the price of your premiums. So you better check all of this stuff. And the ACA sign up enrollment period is November 1st. It starts November 1st. So if they're not going to fight for this now, when the hell are they going to fight for it? Because Republicans say, oh, those ACA subsidy cuts don't take effect until December. Okay, but people need to enroll in less than 4 weeks. Right. And what? Are we going to trust that Congress is going to get something passed and do their job, that Republicans in Congress are actually going to get this done? So that is what Democrats are fighting for. You may like the way they're doing it. You may not. You may agree, you may not. But the reason Democrats are fighting is for the ACA subsidies for American citizens who were included during the COVID epidemic because so many people needed more health insurance. The thing about undocumented immigrants is a lie. Es una mentira, and they are taking the American people for fools. They just keep repeating it and lying. It's unbelievable to me how normal it has become for the president, vice president, the top people in an administration to lie to the faces of the American people. They know they're lying, and that's what they're trying to, reinforce with that stupid meme. So no, it's not about an undocumented immigrant. It's about the people in Arkansas and Alabama and Miami, Florida, which has one of the largest sign-up rates for the ACA.
The president's also targeting states that voted for Vice President Harris in his shutdown fight. He's freezing billions of dollars in funding for energy and infrastructure here in New York. It's in California, other places too, but blue states. Does this surprise you?
No. Who could be surprised by this? This is the way he has always operated. Just think for 1 minute about the treatment that Puerto Rico got when after Hurricane Maria. That same hurricane season, there were red states like Florida and Texas that were affected by hurricanes, and they got first-class treatment, whereas Puerto Rico was getting thrown paper towels and, it just nowhere near the same level. So no, this is what he usually does. For Trump, he sees things through blue or red colored glasses. And he has told us that he would be about vengeance and retribution. And that doesn't just mean Comey. It doesn't just mean, his opponents in the media. It also means red and blue states and him giving preferential treatment to red states over blue states. I think it's again, part of this authoritarian bent of his. He's a dictator wannabe that he is, rewarding those who kiss the ring and punishing those who don't.
On another topic, there was a big announcement this week in Florida, and I immediately thought of you because officials have paved the way for President Donald Trump's presidential library to be built in downtown Miami, your hometown. As our resident Floridian, tell me your feelings about this.
It's pretty outrageous what they have done. I'm not surprised by it. The people on the board of trustees of Miami-Dade College that ceded an incredibly valuable piece of land. It's worth, $70 million of something in downtown Miami are all, acolytes of DeSantis and Trump. So it's not surprising that they would rubber stamp this, and then the Florida cabinet would give it the ultimate approval. It's pretty outrageous. Not only are they talking about building a library, but it's also going to come with a hotel run by the Trump family. So, I don't think they're doing this as a nonprofit venture. So no wonder they pick Miami, because you have to ask yourself, well, why Miami? He lives in New York and Palm Beach, has a club in New Jersey. What the hell are we doing in downtown Miami? But I'll tell you the part that's really disgusting and offensive is that it's going to sit right next to a building in Miami with incredible historical significance. It's called the Freedom Tower. And it is where tens of thousands of Cuban refugees came through in 1959, 1960. And where they would go, it's where Cuban refugees would go to get aid. To get aid on filling out the forms. They would get free cheese. They would get vats of peanut butter. They would get free food given to them. And they would get help with their paperwork. So the Freedom Tower is the Ellis Island of Miami, and the Ellis Island in particular for the Cuban American community. So for a president who has been so incredibly draconian and racist and maligned immigrants and is allowing his government to hunt immigrants down like if they were wild animals, to build his library next to a building that stands for immigration, for seeking freedom, for seeking liberty, for seeking refuge in the United States is disgusting. And shame on all those people in Florida, in Miami-Dade and in Florida who have rubber stamped this. And then to make matters worse, they're going to allow him to have a for-profit hotel there. No wonder they picked Miami. Of course, he couldn't do it in New York because here they hate him.
Yeah. No, he's popular in Florida still. All right, let's talk about Pope Leo. This was on the show today.
Gotcha. Yes. Let's talk about something that brings my blood pressure down.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. He spoke out on the meeting of pro-life, and here's what he said today. Someone who says I'm against abortion, but says I'm in favor of the death penalty is not really pro-life. Someone who says that I'm against abortion, but I'm in agreement with the inhumane treatment of immigrants in the United States. I don't know if that's pro-life. What did you make of that?
Look, Pope Leo is an American, and I think he's very sensitive to what happens here politically. And I think, he's Pope. He's not president. He's Pope. And he is being consistent with Catholic teaching. We Catholics, as everybody knows, I'm a wayward Catholic. I'm a badly behaving Catholic. A lot of Catholics like to cherry pick which parts of Catholic dogma they adhere to and they believe. So there's a lot of Catholics who will be against abortion, but will be pro-death penalty. If you are a Catholic who believes Catholic teaching 100% and are faithful to those teachings, you believe that life was given by God and starts at conception and ends when God takes it, not when man chooses to take it. And you are against a human-made decision to take a life in the womb or to take a life in an electric chair. But Catholics tend to pick the parts that they like of Catholic teachings, right? And I think he's right. Look, you cannot be a faithful Catholic and be in agreement with and not feel that it is against Christian values to see little children crying as their parents get torn away. You cannot be a true Christian, a true Catholic who follows that kind of teaching and be okay with the level of cruelty we are seeing exhibited on American streets on a daily basis. So you can't just be pro-life for those 9 months in the womb and then not give a damn about what happens to that child once it's born. Not give a damn if it's hungry or if it's getting shot at schools or if it's getting abandoned by parents who are deported. That is hypocrisy. And I hope that Pope Leo's words make us reflect. If nothing else, make us reflect.
Hearing him comment on U.S. immigration and the treatment of immigrants, were you surprised by that part of it?
No, because again, I think this is a young pope who I think probably, from Chicago, who I think probably, and I'm sure he knows that his city is under siege by the Trump administration and has been targeted by the Trump administration because it's got a Democratic mayor and it's got a Democratic governor, J.B. Pritzker, who he hates. And, he's got relatives there. Mm-hmm. I mean, I suspect he regardless of where I am, I wake up in the morning and I read the Miami Herald. I suspect Pope Leo reads the Chicago Times.
Paying close attention to what's happening in Chicago.
Yeah.
And
in the United States, he's Pope, but he's still an American and he's still a human. And listen, I traveled to Europe this summer. You traveled to Europe this summer. Everybody is painfully aware of the horrible things and shocked. Everybody around the world is painfully aware and shocked by the horrible cruelty happening in America.
Something else is happening in America, and we talked about this a little bit earlier in the week. You shared your excitement about Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl halftime show. We've also talked about how he had done his residency only in Puerto Rico for fear that concert goers would be subjected to ICE raids. Now, since then, and we're going to talk about this on the show later this week, Trump advisor Corey Lewandowski said ICE agents will be at the Super Bowl. He's seemingly reacting to the fact that Bad Bunny had refused to be here before. What is your reaction to this?
Brian, how much is a Super Bowl ticket?
Well, it's a lot of money, and you can't
in the thousands of dollars if you get one.
Thousands of dollars. It is.
I mean,
extraordinarily hard to get.
It is $5,000+ to get a Super Bowl ticket.
Yes, I would say a person off the street is probably paying even more than that.
Okay, So how many undocumented immigrants do you think can afford to go to a Super Bowl?
Not many. No.
All right. So listen, I think Corey Lewandowski is just looking for an excuse to get a free ticket, an excuse to be at the Super Bowl for free and go watch Bad Bunny. That's okay, Corey. You can let us know. You can tell us. You can confess that you're a secret Bad Bunny lover. Listen, the only thing better than Bad Bunny being at the Super Bowl halftime is seeing these MAGA racist snowflakes melt with the news. It is making it that much more enjoyable. It is absolutely delicious to see all of these right-wing podcasters and all of these people posting about Bad Bunny being in the Super Bowl. Okay, let me give you some facts. Bad Bunny was already in the Super Bowl. He was a guest artist when Shakira
And J-Lo.
and J-Lo did their performance in 2020. And people survived. I don't think anybody's head actually exploded from the sight of Bad Bunny on there. He sang there in Spanish. There's been a lot of artists in the Super Bowl who are not American. Right. And some of whom I love, like you too. Bad Bunny actually is American. He is Puerto Rican. And whether people like it or not, Puerto Rican culture is American culture.
I do keep seeing a lot of really disgusting comments and memes suggesting that he's going to get deported. I mean, deported to America? What are we talking about? It's really crazy.
He's hosting Saturday Night Live this weekend. He ain't getting deported. You can't deport an American.
No.
Thank God, because if not, I'd be right next to him.
I was going to say, check your notes.
Are you excited about Bad Bunny?
You know what? I will say that I can't sing a Bad Bunny song right now, but I know he's a great performer. So yes, I'm excited about it.
Listen, I am 100% fluent in Spanish. I can barely understand a word he says. It's about the rhythm. It's about how many aren't there? So many of these people who are like melting down over Bad Bunny and he doesn't sing in English. Man, I've seen them doing the Macarena, Macarena. I mean,
singing
give me a break.
Despacito.
Doing the lambada, singing Despacito. Let's be truthful here. Mm-hmm. The reason they hate him is because he has stood up for Puerto Rico,
right.
Puerto Rican dignity and pride of Puerto Rican, and he, he has spoken out.
Yeah.
About the racism against Puerto Rico, and he has spoken out against Trump.
I believe people would be furious if Taylor Swift, as rumored, had been the Super Bowl halftime show. People would have been furious about that for similar reasons. The things she said.
Oh my God! If he really wants to make their heads explode, he should invite Taylor to be the guest performer with him.
That'd be amazing. All right, we had Cheryl Lee Ralph recently with us, and she was talking about getting her star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and in this conversation, she said, you have to thank your haters. Do you agree with that? Not to say that you have a lot of haters, but, you do. So tell...
Chacha, are you listening to this?
What do you feel?
I think it circles back to the Bad Bunny conversation we were just having.
Yeah.
It gives me... I am downright gleeful when I see all these people being so mad about Bad Bunny being the performer. Yeah, so, honest to goodness, I think you've got to do things for yourself,
right?
Not for anybody else. I've always felt that way, but I think, I don't know that you want to thank your haters, but I certainly always say you cannot allow your haters to define you and to get in your head. Just
there's someone. Another thing she said.
It's noise to me.
She also said that all the no's in her life gave her fuel to keep going. Has anyone ever told you no?
If they did, I don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it a couple times, but it
means nothing to me.
Yeah, it means nothing to you.
Has anybody told you no?
Yeah, I think so. I think I identify with a lot of this. I use past rejections as fuel, for sure. I definitely have... Some of the limited success I've had in my career and my life has been based on proving other people wrong.
I feel like this is very... I don't know why this is giving me Godfather vibes. And you get into like this weird mood.
Yes.
When you're talking about it. It's almost like prove people wrong.
No,
take
I think...
revenge. Vindication.
Today we settle all family business. Yeah.
You know what I'm doing today?
What's up?
I'm going to go see the taping of Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, that's great. In Brooklyn.
Who is in New York this week. Actually, Bruce Springsteen and Jeremy Allen White
are going to be there.
Are going to be there. Who's starring as Bruce Springsteen in the movie?
That's right. And Jeremy Allen White's going to be on our show soon. That's great.
And yeah, I really, I've never gone to I've been a guest in a late night show.
Right.
I've never been in the audience to a late night show, but I really wanted to show up and support him. It's important for me. I'm glad that he is again on our air everywhere in America and exercising his First Amendment right.
Let me tell you, Jimmy Kimmel's that's a good audience to be in. They have a lot of fun in that audience.
Do they give anything away? Can I get
Maybe,
a car?
If you can get into the green room. The green room's kind of a party. So see if you can do that. It's a little different than our show.
Well,
in LA, I don't know about it in New York, but in LA they've got like a full bar and like a nice setup there in the green room.
Oh my God, I'm taking antibiotics.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Well, if I drink, I can't. The antibiotics don't work. I think, right? Is that still a thing?
I consult your doctor or RFK Jr. Don't change though. I think you should show up like you're ready to go poolside, like you are right now. This is great.
I'm freezing. It's been freezing here.
I apologize.
Whoopi was freezing too.
You might have a cold. That might be why you're cold. No? Okay. Thank you for joining me, Anna. Today, that's all for Behind the Table, but we have an all-new view tomorrow, and it's a good one. We have Glenn Powell and Eli Manning, which is exciting, and some of the hosts.
Isn't he a football player?
Eli Manning is one of the great football players of all time, 2-time Super Bowl MVP.
Is he the ginormous one?
He's a big guy, yeah.
Like 6 foot something?
He's 6 foot something, but he's not
like really big?
No, I don't think he's who you're thinking of, but his head is very large.
Wait.
There's Eli and Peyton, who are brothers that are both Super Bowl champion quarterbacks.
Is Peyton Manning huge?
They're both large men, yes.
I have a picture. I met one of them.
Yes.
At a Mitt Romney event in Utah one year.
That sounds like it could be either of them.
And I literally must have been 1.5 feet shorter than this person.
Yeah, no, that's accurate. I'm 1.5 feet shorter than them. So.
I look like Ricardo Montalban and Tattoo when I took a picture. So which one?
Eli's here. Eli was the quarterback of the Giants. He won 2 Super Bowls beating Tom Brady.
And what did the other guy do?
He was the quarterback of the Indianapolis Colts. You'd know him from his commercials probably. He did that, chicken parm, it tastes so good. No, nothing?
Anyways, why do I care?
Because Eli's on the show tomorrow with movie star Glenn Powell, and then also Henry Winkler, the Fonz, which is also very exciting.
Thank God, somebody on that I actually know.
Someone from a pop culture era you paid attention to.
I'm paying attention to all sorts of pop culture.
You're married to a huge NFL fan. You should know who the Manning brothers are.
I went home. I fly home on Mondays to be with Al.
Mm-hmm.
I get home, and I'm very excited about Bad Bunny. I wanted to talk to him about Bad Bunny and the Super Bowl. He's watching the Dolphins because I guess they were playing on Monday.
Yep.
Okay. I'm like, Al, I flew all the way home from New York for one night to be with you, and nothing.
They were winning for probably the only time this season, so I don't blame him.
Oh no, I fell asleep. Did they win?
Did
they actually win?
Yeah. Dolphins won.
He says he doesn't want to talk about Bad Bunny because the Dolphins aren't going to the Super Bowl, and he doesn't care about anything, and the world is coming to an end.
There was a big injury. Tyreek Hill hurt his leg very badly, and he's the star of the Miami Dolphins. So.
I don't know who that is either.
Okay. Thank you for joining me, Anna. All right, and we will see you all next week.
Behind the Table is executive produced by Brian Tetta. Supervising producers are Nathan Getty and Summer Shade. Associate producers are Emily Darcy and Katerina Alexopoulos. And our editor is Brian Davis. Our digital coordinator is Molly Kaiser. And director of publicity is Laurie Hogan. From ABC Audio, Trevor Hastings serves as senior producer, with director of podcast programming Josh Cohan and executive producer Laura Mayer.